Hi everybody, and welcome to the video of Ellie and our third week together working. So this week is pretty fun. I'm going to show you one exercise that I'd like to do with young horses. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you this is how our normal workouts in the indoor arena are starting to look like. She is getting very consistently softer through her top line, and I've been very happy with how focused she's becoming. She still starts off a little bit head in the air for about a couple circles as she gets used to everything, but I think it's been a great change to watch her start to stretch and want to soften and relax her body. It was hard to tell when I first got her a couple weeks ago, but you can see it a little more clearly now. Ellie has a very good sense of rhythm, and I like the way that she bounces through her joints. I think when she starts getting stronger, she's going to be a very, very beautiful mare. So here I am introducing poles. That was her first pole, and I like to introduce new things in the environment that they feel the most safe in, and that's the indoor for her. I've had young horses do all sorts of wild things over their first pole, and that one was pretty great. She noticed it but didn't react to it much at all. So then we're going to take this and move it outside. In an effort to make these videos a little bit more concise, I've cut out a bunch of our warm-up, and in our warm-up it just shows me going around the arena. I have poles kind of everywhere. Lots of different colored poles on angles, some on straight lines, and when she gets comfortable with going over the poles and connecting two together and connecting three together, then I start to do transitions between the poles. And the big thing that this teaches a young horse is how to process aids a little bit quicker. This is very different than doing work in the indoor where I'm just going in circles and kind of being smooth and soft. Here I'm really asking her to balance, asking her to not speed up, steering her all in very rapid sequence so that she has to listen to me. And that's hard for a young horse, but they do get better and better at it the more you do it. And this is an exercise that can be adjusted to horse at any level. I have horses who are mature event horses that can practice their lead changes between the poles. They can do shoulder ends and half passes to the poles. So it can be bumped up to be more difficult, or it can be educational for a young green horse as well. That's one of the reasons I like it. It's very adjustable. And as she gets comfortable with the walk and trot transitions, then I start to introduce a canter transition. And what you'll see is that the canter pretty much ruins all the rhythm that we had back at the trot, but that's okay. You can't tiptoe around these things, and so long as she is safely and calmly being asked to do new things, she will learn from them. But you can tell that she's a little stressed by it. She's now tighter in her top line, her mouth is open, her neck is shorter, and I decide to come back to the walk because she felt just too buzzy at the trot after that canter. So I wanted to tone it down and get her back to being a little more relaxed. A friend of mine in North Carolina once told me that just because a horse has trouble doing something doesn't mean that you should do it less. You should actually do it more often. And that's about the approach that we're doing here. Just because she found the canter difficult doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep on doing it, and I'm also going to keep on adding in the walk to trot transitions, which are a little bit safer and easier for her. But just the repetition of this simple exercise will improve her. One thing you'll notice that's different about this video than the last 2 weeks is I'm riding her in a different bridle. She's in a Micklem bridle with a Nath bit, and I feel like if there's any chance of helping her be comfortable and quiet, these two things together can help very much. The Nath bit is super for hotter, more sensitive thoroughbreds. And here she does start to calm down a little bit. So this next set is the very next day, and you can immediately tell a big difference in her trot. It's like she thought about the whole exercise overnight. Her whole demeanor is different. Her neck is longer, her trot stride is longer. The poles are all in different places, but I felt like I was riding a completely different horse. So I was very pleased with how she improved just in these last 2 days together. It might not seem like a big deal, but there was another horse in the arena that was doing his workout, and I was very thrilled that Ellie completely ignored this horse. It's the little things that kind of give me a hint at what she's going to become in a year or so, and I feel like just the fact that she was able to keep her head together, be better than she was the day before, despite having someone else cantering and working in the arena, I think that bodes well for how her brain is going to develop and be able to take in things like a warm-up arena. This last clip has my last canter on her, and it was really, really enjoyable. You can see I'm starting to sit down a little bit, and she started to accept my weight onto her back, and I felt like her canter actually got softer and slower the more that I sat into her and rode her like a real grown-up horse. And I felt like that was an excellent way to finish this day. So Ellie's going to have a bit of a break for week 4 because I go off to Rebecca Farms and compete over there for a full week. But she'll still be doing a little groundwork with my barn manager, and we will see you quite soon. Thanks very much.